Hi, it's me, Nikki Dominique. I am updating you guys. Last week was actually pretty hard. I definitely had some issues. I don't even know like really where to start. I got like really irritated about having like the tube in. I got really irritated and I really didn't do like any of my feeds last week. My doctor got really irritated with me and she just got frustrated and she was like, don't come back until you do your feeds and everything because you're like wasting my time and your time and everything. And I was just like, well, I mean, I don't even see a reason for me to come back because, until I start, because I was just like, my stomach's bloated and everything, and I just don't want to start the feeds until I get back to the weight that I was like before I went into the hospital. And it was just so irritating, like having a tube just sticking out of my stomach and being in all that pain and stuff. And I just wasn't, I just wasn't used to seeing my stomach like that. And it was so frustrating for me. And it was just crazy. And it was so weird, just like, I don't know, just having someone else being so frustrated with me. And it was like, having this new thing in my life. And it was just like, I don't know, I kind of felt like she's frustrated. Like, I just as frustrated, if not like more. And I felt like, I don't know if like, I mean, I guess you have the right to be frustrated, but even if you feel frustrated, I feel like, maybe you should take your frustrations like outside because the last thing I need is another person to be frustrated at me because like I'm trying to handle this new change too. And it's going to take me a minute. It's going to take me a while. And I had really made a big step by like trying to stop to take the diet pills and that didn't even get like noticed. And it was a huge step for me, although it may have been like nothing to her. It was a huge step to me to like stop that. But she didn't even like ask about that or anything. It just went completely unseen by her. It was just like nothing was enough. And it was like I was trying so hard, you know? So then after that, I had like the safety pin that I like attached my tube to, I just like poked holes through it because I just got so frustrated. And then it started leaking and stuff. And I like had to get like a new one. And it was crazy. I just felt so just out of control and everything. And I was just so unhappy. And then I was going through it with my girlfriend and stuff, and it was just like all the frustration stuff. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was just so unhappy, and I just wanted it to change. I wanted to change right then, right there, and it was just so much and too much. I just really wasn't expecting all of that to happen. I wasn't expecting for me to have that big of a change from getting the tube. I wasn't expecting for me to have so many emotions over the feeding tube. And I really, really did. It was a big change for me that I wasn't expecting. So it was hard to deal with, but I'm getting through it and finally started my feeds back up. Um, it's been like a week now. So, and it's still really, really hard, but I do want change. I do want a difference. And I just started to get like really sick and tired. Like 2 days ago, I was just like, I'm really sick and tired of like this unhappiness. And I felt like, I'd been through so much in my life, just so much unhappiness and abuse and stuff, so much I'd been through at such a young age, and I'm, in my 20s, and I felt like I'd been through so much and that, you know, God had brought me this far and, had even brought, like my girlfriend into my life, stuff like that, so that I could like be happy, not so that I could continue to live in this turmoil and unhappiness. And I said, I need to change my life. And I just said, I'm not going to put up with this negativity and unhappiness anymore. Like it's unacceptable. And I don't want to be unhappy anymore. And I'm not going to do it. So I just, like the next day, I just said, I'm going to change it. And I just started meditating with this like app on my phone. I just looked up free meditation, and it starts you off at like 5 minutes a day. And I just started the meditation, and then I, started praying, a little bit more every day. And then I, got a book called like The Marriage Boot Camp from like WeTV to like go over like with my girlfriend to like help like fix our relationship and stuff like that. And I got another book to like read about, like bettering yourself and stuff like that. And started like working like with my finances and stuff to see how I could, just feel better about what I'm doing and getting my life more under control and stuff like that. And just really getting to work because I said, I just don't want to live like this anymore, and I'm going to do something to change it. And, and starting my feeds again, and, doing whatever I can to just make myself happier. Although, like, I know the eating part is going to be a lot harder to change that, but at least in every other part of my life, do what I can. You know what I mean? So that even if that's the only problem I have, then that may be the only problem. But everything else, I want to make sure is going good, going great. Because, God didn't put me on this earth to be unhappy. And I feel like I've definitely, paid my dues of unhappiness. So, it's time for me to be happy, to live a happy life. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do. And just no more excuses. No more excuses. No more wasting time and stuff like that. And, I've gotten like some messages and stuff, about people saying that, they're embarrassed about, being a woman of color and having an eating disorder and stuff like that. And, the truth really is like, you don't have to be embarrassed because there's so many people out there. There's so many women of color and stuff that do have eating disorders out there that are like in the shadows and stuff. And you know what? It's time to come out of the shadows. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. The more of us that come out of the shadows, the more help that we can get for ourselves, the more, treatment we can get for ourselves, the more that people will see that it's not just affecting, white people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The more people can see that it's a problem in, other communities and other people of culture. And, it may be like a fight at first. You may have to fight with your doctor and tell them like, hey, I have a problem. Like, hey, you need to pay attention. Hey, it's not just a white girl's disease. Like, hey, stop, not looking at my problem. Just because I'm not 100 pounds doesn't mean I, don't have a problem. Stop overlooking my problem. You might have to educate them yourselves and tell them, hey, like I might have hips, booty, and thighs and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a problem. I might be built differently and have broad shoulders and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a problem. I do have a problem. I'm just not built like a white girl. If I was built like a white girl, then I would look like, a white girl anorexic, but I'm not built like that. So therefore, like if I lose weight, I'm going to look different. Or if I gain weight, I'm going to look different. But of course, you are not looking at the big picture because you're basing everything off of a basic white female, and that's not what I am. So you have to look at it based off of a black female and what our bodies are built like and what we normally look like and, stuff like that. So basically, based off of that, I am sick. If I have a set point weight of what I'm healthy at and what I function at, and if that is no longer there, then, if I'm too heavy because I'm not at my set point weight where I'm healthy at, then that means that I have a problem. And if I'm, if I'm weighing less than my set point weight, then that means that I have a problem because I'm unhealthy. It means that I don't weigh enough at my set point weight. So, we have to educate them sometimes. And if that means that you have to keep switching doctors, you might have to keep switching doctors till you find a doctor that's going to listen and going to respect you. You can talk to, your county and, see what their health department offers and stuff like that. Because there are ways around stuff. If you have a problem and stuff, there are ways. They do offer treatment and stuff like that. If you're in the United States and stuff, they have, Medicare, Medi-Cal, disability, there are ways around that type of stuff, and they will pay for it if you need it. You know what I mean? So, insurances and stuff, they will pay for it if you need it. But, you just have to basically, sometimes you have to fight. But I mean, we're used to having to fight. So don't give up fighting for yourself. You know what I mean? Find someone that'll listen and tell them, like, I'm worth it. I may not be perfect, but I'm worth it. And I'm not going to let, a doctor or somebody like that, like, if you're not going to listen, then I'm not going to waste my time, because fighting an eating disorder is hard enough. You don't need to waste your time fighting with a doctor who's not going to listen and who's going to dismiss you. You don't have time for that. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard enough fighting the disorder alone. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage you guys, you know what I mean? Like, don't start tomorrow, start today. Like, let's start making changes. Let's start doing something. And I'm always here for you guys. And, we can do this. We can make these changes. We can start being happier and stuff like that. And, I commend you guys for, coming out and, admitting, what you have. That's like the first step. You know what I mean? And that's helping other people too. So that's basically all I have to say for today. Just a little update for you guys. Well, I love you guys. So out and about like this with a big fat kiss. Mwah!